سلام میکنم به همه شما دوستان و همراهان پرژن ورز جوایز پارسی. مژده هستم با مهمان عزیزمون آریس بابیکیان از آنتاریو، یکی از نماینده های استان آنتاریو. Thank you, Mr. Babikian, to accepting our invitation. It's my pleasure that you are here with us. If you can please introduce yourself and tell your position, everybody is ready to listen.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation. It is a pleasure to be here with you. I am the Scarborough Agincourt member of the Provincial Parliament in Ontario. I have been elected in 2018. Previously, I served as a citizenship judge for 6 years, and I have been involved in so many different multicultural ethnic communities issues. I was the secretary of the Ethnocultural Council in Canada for a long time, and I'm also a member of the Ethnic Media and Press Council, which is based in Toronto, and it has over 600 ethnic media outlets as a member in the association.
Great. Thank you so much for accepting. So I'm going to start my interview with asking you, what do you think as a politician person, the importance of art and culture in the society?
Well, art and culture, it is very important for everyone, regardless of their age, their background, their ethnicity, because art and culture enriches our society, enriches us personally, because we expand our horizons when we are exposed to different cultures and different forms of art. And we are lucky in Toronto and in Canada, actually, that we have so many diverse ethnic communities. They bring their own culture and art so that they can enhance the Canadian art and culture scene. And we know we have so many examples of members of various ethnic communities, various multicultural groups. They have contributed so much to enriching not only the art and culture in Canada, but also all over around the world.
And what do you think, in your opinion, that you as a politician person can support this art and culture, especially for new immigrants?
Well, I have been always advocating the support for those important stakeholders in our society. I am on a daily basis in touch with our Minister of Community, Culture and Recreation. She's great Minister Lisa MacLeod, and we work together to provide support, especially during those difficult times, the COVID and the pandemic. We know that many art and cultural organizations, they have been affected because the best of times, these communities were very limited in the financial support to enhance their art and their culture. And they were handicapped with this shortfall. But with the pandemic, the matter made worse. But we, for example, in Ontario, we work together to provide these art and cultural groups with the support they need to be able to stand back on their feet again. For example, we allocated $50 million to Ontario art and culture stakeholders so that they can enhance their work. They can continue their work to provide to our society this important service, in the important programs which enriches us as a human being and expand our horizons.
Great. And what do you think is the role of this art and culture to connect and the relationship between new immigrants and all of the immigrants that they've been in this country for like longer time and the citizens?
It is very important element, bringing together the different diverse groups, different ethnic communities. As a member of Scarborough Agincourt, I have large segment of diverse communities, from Chinese to Greek, Italian, Tamil, Filipino, Iranians, and so many others. And I attend all their events, and I have seen how this forum, this medium, the art and culture, brings people together, because art and culture transcends any languages, transcends any barriers, because in many cases, like music, like painting, like theater, like and various other art forms, you don't need to be expert in the language. You can enjoy it and you can participate in it. And that's why it is important to build bridges between different communities, different ethnic communities. And this forum, this medium, also enhances our society and brings more understanding of the other culture in our neighbors, because these people are living next to us. They are our neighbors. They go to school with our children, and their kids, they play sports, etc. And we need to emphasize the Canadian multicultural mosaic concept, because I am proud to say that Canada has a unique multicultural concept. It is a unique concept around the world, because I know when I was a citizenship judge, lots of delegates from Australia, Europe, Scandinavian countries, they come to Canada and they will discuss, they will talk, they want to learn what makes the Canadian multicultural concept a successful concept. And they will tell me that we have also policies, multicultural policies, but we were not able to find that magic solution to make our multicultural concept a successful one. And I will tell them, it's not the policy, it's the people. When the people, they come together, they bring their culture, they are together, they make our society, our multiculturalism, a unique and successful experiment. And I'm proud that I'm part of this society, and the art and culture builds up that concept. It was important element in making our multiculturalism concept a successful concept.
Great. And I'm sure that you know that there's a lot of immigrants that they are coming to Canada for just continue their education, like they want to be in academic or scientific field. How do you think, as a politician person, they can grow in academic and scientific part, especially in Canada?
Well, I think that is important issue, because when the international students, they come to Canada, also they bring the best of their world to our world, and they enhance our society. And it is important to encourage, and I'm glad that the Canadian system provided an opportunity for the international students. They come here to finish their expertise. They continue their studies, to continue their expertise in the field that they choose. But once they do that, they have the opportunity automatically to work in Canada for 1 year. That gives them and us an opportunity where these students, these international students, stakeholders, they come to Canada. By working with us, they also contribute to us. They learn from us and we learn from them. And this is the success, the secret of our international student program. And of course, after they finish their 1 year work arrangements, they are allowed to apply for permanent residency in Canada. So we have a unique concept where I don't think there are any other countries around the world. They provide international students, stakeholders, that opportunity to practice what they have learned in that host country and to improve that society. I mean, we have seen in our universities, for example, today when you go to our universities, many of the deans, many of the lecturers are international visitors. They came, students, they came, they learned here, they stayed here, and they started practicing. And after that, they excelled and they started becoming active member of our society and contribute. So I think that is very important.
Thank you. In your opinion, do you think that just sharing this experience between Canadian citizens, especially the person that they became Canadian, do you think that sharing this experience is going to be helpful for other immigrants that they want, or just for encourage the art and culture in the society?
Well, of course, I'm confident that these kind of programs will encourage other students from around the world to come to Ontario. And as I said, we have a very generous plan for these international students. I have met so many students from different backgrounds, different cultures. They are grateful for the opportunity that Canada gave them to not only become expert in their field, chosen field, but also to start practicing it. And they are grateful and to the opportunity, and they would like to contribute, in addition to the art and culture, science, and so many other fields. So, and the positive experience that the previous students they have gained in Canada, and that's reverberates around the world in their own home countries. And when other students, they see that Canada is a place where they can grow and become very respected and equally treated member of the Canadian society, they would like to come. Of course, by coming here, it's not only benefit for them, but it is also benefiting the Canadian people. I mean, we know and we see so many newcomer Canadians have been on the world stage in various fields of expertise and contributing, in addition to the Canadian society, to the humanity, to mankind, by improving, by implementing and practicing what they have learned and their back home experience, and making Canada envy of the world.
Great. Yeah, making Canada envy of the world.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
To be honest with you, I am so proud of Canada. I came to Canada 42 years ago as a refugee. Look, where else a refugee can go to another country where he or she is provided with the opportunity to excel and to become productive member. I was a citizenship judge. I am a member of the Provincial Parliament. I don't think there is any other country where newcomers, they can excel so much. When I was a citizenship judge, I used to go, we had a program called Outreach, and we used to go to schools and community centers and youth organizations and talk about the Canadian citizenship value and the Canadian experiment. And I will tell the students that, yes, there will be some bigoted people who will try to dissuade you from your own path. They will make a fun of your name, your religion, your color, the color of the skin, your ethnicity. But don't give attention to these naysayers. It is in your hand. The sky is the limit for you in Canada to excel and become what you want. If you fail, don't blame those naysayers. Just blame yourself, because there are so many people who came to this country as refugees. And look, today they are business owners, scientists, politicians, athletes, and that's why we should not limit ourselves to our narrow-minded confinement.
You answered my next question. My next question was about what steps should immigrants take to be successful. And the other beauty of, I can say, the way that you're talking is sharing your experience. You came to Canada as a refugee and look where you are right now. By sharing this, giving hope and giving the people that they want to be successful, they want to have a path like you, that there is unlimited. Just request, you shall get it. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, the advice that I give to newcomers, because I'm still involved in the settlement of the newcomers. And in the last 10 years, we have seen influx of large number of refugees to Canada from different parts of the world because of the troubled political civil wars in their home countries. I still meet with them. I try to help them to find jobs, housing, get registered in the school to learn English or French. I always tell them, you have to be patient. It is not easy. It will be difficult because you're coming to new country, new culture, new society. It is not the same as it used to be home. But believe me, if you are patient, you will be able to succeed. Don't give up. And that's the other issue. You have to be consistent, persistent to follow what you want to achieve. And the other thing, contribute, give back to the community, volunteer in helping others. Volunteerism is also an important element in our society, in the structure of our country. We give back to the country that gave us so much. So there are lots of positive things that we give to the newcomers. And I know many newcomers who came 3-4 years ago. They were refugees. They lost everything. Today, many of them, they opened their own businesses. They purchased their houses. They are very active now in helping others to adapt to our society, providing employment to other newcomers. So that is something that once you come to Canada, you succeed, you transmit your experience and your advice to other newcomers. And I am quite happy that until now I am involved. I'm still giving back to newcomers and try to make their experience positive one, successful one. Yes, there will be difficulties, there will be challenges. No one disagree on that. But I believe that anyone can achieve anything once they put their mind to it.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. So it's just, there's always hope and don't give up. That was your, I can say.
That's right.
So Mr. Babikian, what do you think the importance of scientific arts and culture awards in different society like Persian awards is going to help more scientific and culture activities?
Here is the issue. When people, they come from their home country, they have been, some of these countries that they come from, they have hundreds and thousands of years of historical background. Some of our newcomers, they come from countries where they used to be empires. and they have excelled in so many things. They have for thousands of years, they were able to continue their way of life and their achievements in so many different fields, science, art, etc. And I am, for example, mesmerized by the Iranian people culture and painting, for example, the art of, the mosaic. When I look at buildings, how they are designed, how they are, the morale that they build, etc. So these are things that, of course, when they come, these people to our country, they bring all these thousands of years, thousands of years of experience with them. Canada is a new country, young country, comparing to so many of our newcomers where they come from. And definitely, when they bring all this rich cultural background, scientific background with them, and they will be able to also enrich our society, our country. We have in Toronto, for example, we have many architects who are from Iranian background. They have built beautiful things. We have artists who have been excelling in the art, in culture, in painting. But of course, when they come, they bring the best of two worlds. They bring what they have learned in their home country and they mix it with the Canadian, and this becomes the best to give back to Canada and around the world. And it is very important that we need to provide as governments, regardless of what level of government we are, we need to provide the encouragement and the support to these people so that they can perform, they can produce the best of what they have, so that we know for sure that at the end, we will benefit from it also. And that's why, especially for newcomers, the financial support is important for them, because some of them, they come with families, and when they come to a new country, they need to feed their families, and every bit helps these people to ease their mind and start producing the best of them, the best of what they can do.
Thank you. And in your opinion, as a politician person, what do you think that the people who are active in this kind of awards, like Persian awards, that they are working volunteer, what do you think that their feedback is going to help to show and encourage the art and culture, governmental or non-governmental?
Definitely. These kind of awards that you are initiated, it will help the newcomer who is giving back or contributing. It will help them to excel further, because I will be very honestly, many of these artists and cultural people, they don't perform, they don't produce for sake of money. They do it because they love it. It's in them. They want to give back, and recognition by their community, their society, it gives them the personal satisfaction, fulfillment that their work is not gone unnoticed. People are recognizing their contribution. And this is encouragement for them, and it gives them additional impetus to further and enhance their contribution, their work, to start explore different ways to contribute to the art and the culture of their own community. For example, in this case, the Persian community, or to the community at large where they are living. So these awards are very, very critical, very, very important for these people to sustain their art. As I said, there is little bit of financial reward, to be honest with you. I've seen so many of them. I met with so many of them. And I know for sure that this kind of recognition from any level of government, community organization, their peers, it is very important for their self-fulfillment.
Thank you. One of the best way to empower culture and art is just connected with other communities, like Chinese communities, Vietnamese, like Japanese. There's a lot of communities. What do you think that needs to be done to connect and have this kind of like joint venture to empower the culture and art?
Yeah, one of the best thing we can do as a society and as a government to encourage multicultural outreach between different organizations, different communities, by organizing, for example, art exhibits, bringing different cultures together and expand the horizon of each community and give them some kind of exposure to other cultures, organizing joint, for example, performances, like we have so many opera singers, theater, where we can go and enjoy. For example, I've been in so many different cultural performances. One of them is like a Chinese opera. Even though I did not understand the Chinese language, there was transcript on the side on larger screen explaining. But even if I didn't read that English translation of what they were singing or saying, but the music, the background, the stage setup, it gave me so much satisfaction that I didn't need the translation to understand what they were doing. And that's why we need to encourage this intercultural, community relationship, organize joint award exhibitions, performances, cultural displays like carvings or any other means that we have. That's one way to help the intercultural cooperation.
Great. And what, in your opinion, what is the role of local media to empower and encourage more cultural activities?
I have to say, I mean, if I compare my own experience, when I came to Canada, unfortunately, the exposure to ethnic culture and art was very limited in the major media. That's why the ethnic media started flourishing. The ethnic media started discussing, but that was limited within their own culture because it was in particular language. But I have realized that the mass media started realizing that they need to provide exposure to ethnic groups, artists, in any form of culture and art, to give them the exposure to the general public. And that is happening more now, but I believe the ethnic media has also a role in promoting this. As a member of the National Ethnic Press and Media Council of Canada, I have seen how, for example, when these different journalists, they come together from different backgrounds, they bring their newspapers and they start discussing ideas together, and they start cooperating together, and they started giving exposure to other ethnic media events, developments, in their own language. For example, the Tamil newspapers will write about a very interesting media exposure or media exhibit, paintings in the Persian community or the Chinese community, and vice versa. So that's why the ethnic media cooperation is important. But I am happy to say that the mass media started acknowledging the fact of Canada is not the old Canada anymore. It is, they need to provide an opportunity so that the masses, they can see that important production, important exhibit, important product, outcome of those ethnic communities. So we still need, we still have work to do it better. But I think this kind of intercooperation, encouragement is very important.
Great. And my last question from you is, what should be done to encourage production companies to produce more cultural products?
Well, the production company, the regular production companies, at the end, they are making their decision based on the bottom line. And that is important. We cannot ignore it. We, as a politicians, as an ethnic communities, we need to encourage these production companies that if they provide the opportunity for the multicultural groups and performers, art, exhibits, etc., they will benefit from it. It is not a losing proposition for them because, for example, fortunately, we have a huge number of ethnic communities now residing in Canada: Italian, Chinese, Persian, Greek, Tamils, and each one of these communities, they represent hundreds of thousands of members. Not, if not, there are some of them, they reach to the million rank. So there is an opportunity for them to provide a quality work for the Canadian civil society, but also they can benefit from it. So that's one way to encourage the production companies to get involved in the ethnic or art and culture scene. But also, we have to be cognizant that we as an ethnic communities, we need to prepare products, projects where they are based on quality, so that because if the production company, the first time they try to satisfy you, and if it is not a quality product, like any other business, they are not going to touch you again. So that's why for sustainability of our art and cultural communities in the multicultural communities, it is important that we encourage a quality product so that we will be able to encourage these production companies to become more involved in this field.
Thank you so much, Mr. Babikian, for accepting our invitation. Is there anything else that, as an advice, you can tell us, or anything that I missed to ask you?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. It is very enjoyable to discuss with you this very particular issue. Multiculturalism is important for me as someone who comes from an ethnic background, and I have seen how my community evolves. And as a public civil servant in various capacity, I have seen how other communities got evolved and started becoming a part of the mainstream society. It is important to work together, to collaborate together. And I believe that Canada is a place where we can achieve so much. It is something that I'm always available to help, advise, and even facilitate any kind of support I can get. I know you are in British Columbia, I'm in Ontario, but whatever I can do for our residents in Ontario, regardless if they live in my riding or not, I'm quite willing to advise them, guide them, and help them reach to their potential.
Thank you so much. I am in Vancouver, British Columbia, but we are global. So we are all over the world. So thank you so much. That's why we are inviting all of the member of parliament in any province, because we believe that we are all in Canada. We are all Canadian. We can help each other, especially with your support. Again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. It was my honor to talking to you. And thank you all, the audience, that they were watching me with my dear guest, Mr. Aris Babikian from Ontario. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good wishes to your audience and to your team. You're doing an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you. از همه شما عزیزانی که با ما همراه بودین تا دیدار دیگه خدا نگهدار میگم. امیدوارم همیشه لبخند روی لباتون باشه. خدا نگهدار.